Ciao.
Ciao.
Day 7.
Day 7.
Take
Today's
two.
Take 2. Today's the 11th, and we are exhausted.
Yeah. We were out like 12 hours.
No. Yeah, who knows? It's been a long day. What did we all do today? We woke up, missed the bus.
My alarm didn't go off.
You made it.
But it was not my fault. We missed the bus.
Yeah.
It was, I don't even know how we missed it, but we missed it.
We missed the bus, but then we tried to jump on the tram. Realized they're on strike.
Yeah, surprise!
Yeah.
No tram today.
No tram for you.
And then so everyone was on the buses, and then the
It
buses,
was
not buses,
ridiculous.
everyone was on the buses, and some of
everyone
those
was
weren't
driving.
working.
And it was a major traffic jam because everyone was taking a car today.
So we got off the bus and walked the rest of the way.
It took like 20 minutes to get to the first stop.
Mm-hmm.
It was
on a bus,
ridiculous.
which was like 10 minutes.
We could have walked it in 5.
So we just got off,
Yeah,
and then we walked.
yeah, to the next spot where we met our guide, which was it was a really long walk.
It was a very long walk. But anyways, our guide was really cool.
Yeah,
His name was Giappi.
No, it's
Joppa?
John Paul in
Joppa?
English.
Choppy.
Joppy.
Giappi. He was cool. And we met him, and oh gosh, where did we go? Did we go to the forum first?
No, we walked by the forum.
We walked
Yeah,
by the forum.
We were
Forum
at
was
a
first.
garden.
we went by. Well, first we
went
saw
a
the
lot
wedding
of
top,
places today.
wedding cake top.
Oh yeah, the wedding cake.
That's where we
building.
met him, and then we
It's,
walked
like,
by
huge.
there. Yeah, it's beautiful though.
And then I cannot think of the order in which we did things today.
It's all blurred.
What did we do after that?
It was the forum, and then
Yeah,
the forum was huge, and that's
It
where
was.
what
we
would you
climbed
how
a
do you
lot of
describe?
hills.
That's where we ancient rooms. Forum means like ancient room. Forum means
Square.
But it was a spot of like ancient ruins
It was really cool.
everywhere.
It was
They
like
kept
where
putting monuments in the square every time.
yeah,
they
and
did
putting them on
something
top of
awesome.
old ones, and
And then it
We learned a
became
lot
too
about-
crowded, so they made other forums.
and it's
Yeah.
where Rome was like founded.
Yes.
It's between the two
Romulus
hills,
and
the
Remus.
Palatine and the
Yeah.
Capitol.
Yeah, Palatine Hill. at
I
the-
kept thinking Palpatine.
And they actually have like this spot marked where they say that Romulus and the king of the other hill met.
Titus.
And formed Titus formed Rome.
Yep.
So that was really really cool because these are super old buildings.
And they're just rubble, but then some of them, the ones that were preserved are the ones that were transformed into churches in the new time. But the other ones are just crumbled. But it's
Yeah,
just
like
crazy.
the Senate building is still there. Like that's the original Senate building.
From who knows how long ago.
Korea.
Korea.
It was really really cool.
And the forum was huge, and it was really hot today, but we found a lot of shade. I mean,
Yeah, our
he
tour
helped us
guide
get
was really
breaks.
good. He's like, sit here on the
sit here in the
columns."
shade. Sit here. We sat
We were
on
just
columns.
sitting on these like thousands of year old columns.
We're like,
that
can
had
we sit
fallen
here?
down.
And he's like, oh, go. And we're like, okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's shaking.
Like, I wouldn't
was
do it if we were like by ourselves, but he told us to, so.
Yeah, it was
Sure.
sweet.
It was really cool.
And then from there, we
Oh,
all
we climbed
sat
to the top too.
Palpatine Hill.
Oh, the Villa
Palpatine.
Borghese. That's what we saw first.
The what? Oh,
Or
the
not
Vil-
first, but that's where we went.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It was this building on top of the hill, and it was really pretty. But like the view, oh my gosh!
Oh,
gorgeous.
yeah.
I can't imagine having a house on the top of that hill and like
Oh.
seeing that every morning. We all took lots of pictures.
Yeah, I love just seeing
The
pictures.
view was gorgeous.
And so after that, we ended up somehow just look
Oh,
at
we saw
there's
the arches, the triumphant arches.
Yes, those.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
those
keep
were
coming
nice.
up with things.
I know they were cool. The one that got the guy who was buried, Titus.
Yeah, he was
Titus
buried
is
in the
buried
top.
in the arch. His
Well,
arch.
It was.
He's on
it
like
was
in-
ashes.
whatever. It's still
To be
him.
fair.
And he was cremated and put in.
Yeah,
it
we
was
saw the
urn.
spot where Julius Caesar was cremated, right? That was that one building that the one teacher.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Where his funeral pyre had been. They,
Yes.
Augustus, his stepson, made a little memorial.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
And we saw like some of what's left of Augustus's house.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
was
we also
stripped.
saw
Pretty
Yeah.
Marble.
in Julius Caesar's house
Mm-hmm.
or the palace.
We saw his Land Rover too.
Yeah.
Parked.
Alex took a picture.
Free parking.
It's been there for thousands of years.
According to our tour guide.
He was so funny. He kept making little
He was so
snaps.
funny.
Like when we went to the Coliseum, he's like, "Okay, now we're going to fight to the death. Only one survivor, but you get a prize."
It was pretty good.
It's like, okay, now we're going to fly to France. Stop in Naples.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, so the first,
Speaking of,
we just were walking, what?
I was gonna say. Then we went to the Coliseum.
Yeah, we were just all of a sudden, just like, we got somewhere like, hey, look at it, that's the Coliseum.
It was like we kept seeing it, and then it was like, wait, whoa, that's what?
That's the Coliseum?
That's the
That's
Coliseum.
It's just, it was
Way
amazing.
more impressive than I thought it was
It
going to
was.
be.
Yeah.
You know?
It was so.
And we got to go in it, like, not like in the
Yeah.
bottom of it, but
But
like a
like-
walk on top. And
Yeah.
see where they sat, and well, not really because it's totally demolished, like 400.
But you can use your
Layers.
imagination.
It was just
They
cool.
tried to turn it into a castle.
Yeah.
Mussolini.
Yeah,
did.
I like had no idea about that.
Mhm.
They like
And I thought like the
It's
bottom.
crazy.
I don't know. I just didn't assume that they took out the floor and that was the
Yeah.
basement we were seeing. Not the basement, but you know what I mean.
I just
This
thought it was
one
so
was
funny. They
second
stripped
one.
one side to put it on the other
and they
side.
did.
Yeah.
So like half of it is like really preserved, and then the other half is
It's
like
just
crumbling,
destroyed,
and part of the wall is gone.
Mussolini had to like
and
put bricks on it. To
yeah,
make it
he like
be
tried to
whole.
restore the stairs thing so you could like see it, but never did much more than that. So
Yeah. It was cool. And then we were all like, we have to go to the bathroom, but we had already left the Coliseum. He's like, oh, the bathroom's in the Coliseum. You can't go back in. It was like, great.
Mm.
So
And we-
then, he what?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, we took some of the stuff from tomorrow and put it today.
Uh-huh.
So we would have been. Were we done after? No, we had the
Bath.
church
We
after
still had the
the
baths.
bath after the Coliseum. Had been
Yeah.
done. But
The church was after.
yeah, so we went
We had,
to the
like, another
baths.
2
The
hours
baths of
in the bath.
Carcassia.
Caracalla.
Yeah, it was
They
close.
did a lot of things in the baths. Like
The
they
bath-
had a
It was like a
library,
mall.
Awesome.
massage. You could get a prostitute.
It was warm water, cool water, a
Sauna.
Yeah,
sauna.
there were like rooms for each temperature.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
amazing.
huge.
It was.
Workout.
I didn't think it was that
So
big.
huge.
And they said they just go there for days, and it was cheap. And
Yeah, just go there for hours after lunch. Like I would wait until like 8 p.m. for dinner and chill in a swimming pool for a few hours.
yeah,
So
It was a
awesome.
really, really cool place, and there were gardens everywhere.
And they
and a bathroom
heated.
and a kitty.
Oh
they
yeah,
heated-
there's a kitty.
Yeah, it was cute. They heated the saunas like through an underground vent. They like had slaves
Worked on the fire.
burn some.
And there's
wood.
still tunnels there. You can't. You
Yeah.
can like look down and see them, but you can't really see them.
Yeah, it's
You
too
saw
dark.
grass, but they were there. You could tell that they were there eventually somewhere.
Yeah, it was really cool. We went to
The
that
church.
Clementine's church?
Saint Clementine.
Clementine.
It's it's not exactly
Clementine.
Clementine because it ends with like an E, not an
Yeah.
St. Clemens. Clemens.
Saint Clemens, something like whatever. This church,
Which
and
was so cool.
It was like
I
literally,
remember-
it was pretty chilly.
It was like
It was
time
cool.
traveling.
It was awesome.
yeah,
We were hot.
they build on layers. So the top layer was this church, and it was beautiful. But
'Cause
that
they
was
kept-
built on
they
an
kept
old
filling.
church that
It was sand as like I don't know the word for it, but as like the ground level went up, you
Yeah.
know. So they keep
built it.
filling it.
Yeah. So like the top layer was this church, and then it was built on top of a church that was burnt down, but not all of it. So the floor was still there, and the side, some of the mosaic on the sides was still this old stuff.
It was like bits and pieces because they
Yeah.
stole from other things. So like all the columns were different. Like
I thought that was
but
interesting.
different.
And
yeah,
then
it
we
was
went
interesting.
down the steps,
and
and
boom.
we were in the first one. Oh, we were in the older
Were
church.
we in the 5th century or the 2nd century? at
Uh,
that
it
point?
was the
I
We
can't
started
remember.
like 16th. We went to 5th, and then 1st.
11th first, and then it was 5th.
Okay.
11.
And in the 5th century or 2nd century.
And the 5th century was the original church, right?
Yes.
And that was really, really cool to see. Like, and you
Yeah.
could see where they had like cut off, where they demolished the buildings. Like,
Yeah, like how tall it was supposed to be,
and then it was like
the
over
added pillars.
foundations.
And you can still see the paintings on the walls were
Yeah, it's
beautiful.
so
The one, the painting, the first written.
Oh,
first
yeah,
Italian.
the first.
First
and
Italian
it said like
church.
"son of a bitch" or something.
Yeah, the first words in Italian and not
Son of
Latin
a
were son of a,
bitch.
yeah.
It was quite funny.
So then we went one more layer down, and that was the
That's
temple.
homes.
What?
Oh, there was
Oh,
another.
the
Oh, it was a
myth-
home first, and then it was a temple.
Mithril, right?
Mithril, like
They
Mithril,
call it
but not
Mithril,
Mithril.
and it's like they worship this Mithros, and they like
Person.
don't know very much about their
Because
religion.
It's
they're
like
so
a cult.
secretive.
It's a
Yeah.
cult,
Like there's
pretty
no
much.
written records.
Like you had to do 7 things of initiation.
And like sacrifices. And
It was really
They thought
cool,
it was
though.
brutal, but they don't
Yeah.
know.
And then we went one more layer down, and we went to a house
And we
that
were
was
in the
there.
first
century.
century.
It also had like natural springs there.
Like that's how
Yeah.
close to the floor we were. 100. What was it?
We were 30 feet underground.
Yeah. It was so
Well, a little
cool,
over 30 feet.
cold, and it was just so crazy how much support it was still there.
Yeah, like first century, and this building was still like we touched the walls. Like
They've been there forever.
it was weird.
It's
It
just
was
crazy how
so
they just
cool.
like filled things. They're like, oh, build above it. Oh, build above it. You know.
Yeah.
It's like,
So everywhere
yeah.
we walk now, we're like, I wonder what's under our feet right now that
Yeah.
has not
because
been
it's
discovered.
everywhere, but they have a hard time digging
Excavating
because of
it.
the new Rome is on top of the old Rome.
Yeah, because
So
the
they can't
water
destroy
was
the new
raised.
city.
And, yeah, water was raised because of flooding, and then it like covered everything.
Yeah.
And erosion.
Mhm.
It's
So
really
there's
cool.
more dirt now than there was before.
Yeah. So the churches, and then after the church. Oh, guys, I forgot to mention what I had for lunch.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, lunch at the Coliseum. I had a hot dog
But on panino bread.
on panino bread, and it was cut in half, and had not so much ketchup that I would have liked, but it was good. And
It was interesting looking.
we all had a gelato.
For the
We
first
paid
time.
money for it, but it was so
Marsha
hot.
and I paid extra because you ran
I
out of
didn't.
change.
Yeah, you didn't want to give us
So it was
more
like
money
$4.
back.
It was
Kate only
free
paid
for
for
me.
3.
I had chocolate and vanilla.
And we only had one flavor each.
We had 2
Really?
flavors.
Oh,
though.
we did?
had
Oh, yeah, strawberry and
vanilla.
vanilla. It was good, though.
Fragola.
Fragola. Anywho, back to the...
Anyways.
Back to the regular schedule.
After the church,
We went to
see
the
Imperial.
Imperial Forum, which is like the
Yeah.
ones built after...
Julius Caesar did
Caesar.
the first one.
Yeah, and they were cool. I was still listening to him, but I lost it a little bit.
We were all pretty tired.
Yeah.
It was like we
But it was
started
just
at
cool to
9,
look
and
at.
this was like 5 and 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like pushing 8 or 9 hours.
But it
on
was
our
so
feet.
cool. And like there was this big pillar thing,
And
and
it told a story. And I went, ooh.
yeah, ooh, so good for my head.
We've been doing this all day, like hitting each other, and just like, oh, sorry.
I'm so sunburned.
Okay.
Yeah, Kate's got
Look
pretty
at my
bad.
shoulder. I don't think you can see it very well. I'm really sunburned.
We had the genius idea though of sharing a backpack.
oh,
the three
that
of
was
us.
so
So
smart.
each of us got for an hour.
Yeah, so we got 2-hour breaks in between. So
That
by the
was
time
so
you got
nice.
it again, you were rested,
Yeah.
and then we got
Good plan.
sweaty and hot. You pass it on to someone else.
It was a good idea. We should do that again tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yeah, we should.
Yep.
Even tomorrow's not good. A
Period.
lot of the stuff we went to today, we were supposed to go to tomorrow.
So we'll be done by 2
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be 2 really long days, but we made one really long one day and one really short day, so we can go shopping tomorrow.
Yay! And
Yeah.
we ate at a lunch bar place.
That's our plan.
That's our goal.
Um,
we ate at Andrea's place for dinner today.
Mhm. It was so good.
$10. We had
$10.
like 2 appetizers, a supreme.
We weren't even
pasta.
supposed to get all that. I don't think they were just like.
Yeah,
giving
they were
us
just
stuff.
like giving it
They kept
away.
coming out with more food, and
We,
like,
we
okay,
always went
okay.
like, ooh.
they loved it.
Yeah, they did.
We had, wine came with the meal, pasta,
Yeah, I didn't
bread,
drink the wine.
bread,
bread, extra bread,
more
pizza
bread, pizza
3
bread.
breads, really.
It was
Pasta.
3 breads, pasta, and
The
then
pasta was like olive oil,
3
which I
different
don't
types
like
of
the pesto
bruschetta.
here. It tastes really thin and bad. So I was like, olive oil, yes. So I ate the
It was
entire
pretty
thing.
good. I didn't.
Oh, I
ate
was-
half
I
of
ate
it.
all of it too. I was just hungry.
I was starved.
And then it was ice cream with coffee for
Yeah,
dessert.
and it
Which I
wasn't
don't
like
usually like coffee, but it was pretty
yeah,
good.
it wasn't as strong as like tiramisu, so it was good.
Yeah.
still.
And then
And then we
had
decided.
gelato for the
Gelato
second
day.
time.
I spent $8 on gelato today, and I don't
so
regret
good.
a thing.
Yeah, we
I had-
walked
I could
to a
tell
different
them.
place.
The place where we got our free gelato because they had a lot
Kate,
more
you're raising
flavors.
your hand
Can
there.
I tell them how
Okay,
delicious
Kate's
it
raising her
was?
hand.
Yeah.
I had kiwi and forest fruit and cream, and it was like heaven.
And then what did they put on top, Kate?
oh,
Oh, Viagra.
Viagra. They put on Viagra.
they did. They just blew
They call it Viagra.
We're not sure why it's called Viagra. There's Smurfs. There's Smurfs in the blue ice cream, but it's called Viagra. We're really confused.
On the first day,
But it was
the
good.
guys say this is only for men, which I really like Blue Moon, so I was disappointed.
It was good. It was good Blue Moon.
And they like they gave us like free samples. We're like,
We walked
They were
in
so
and they
excited.
just handed out like 6 spoons, and I'm like, I
They're
don't
like,
want
eat
6
this.
spoons. I'm like, what is this? I don't know which one flavor this is. How am I
like
supposed to know if I
biscuit
like it?
gelato, and it was hella good.
And they were so excited about us like eating things.
Yeah, I got Snickers and chocolate chip cookie, chocolate chip, and a touch of the fruity thing that you always have.
Forest fruit.
And
I
creme
love
de
that forest
caramel.
Yeah, it was so good. And this little spot that's close to us, and this other place we have to be in, we have to do some kind of like far away. But I think we'll have to go there every night because we almost there, and we have fun.
Have any
I don't
of the
think
same
it is.
flavors.
It's two. I think it's still. It was $2.50 for the regular. So small, and we got the medium.
Four.
Three for the
Oh,
small
I
cup.
played 4.
4 for the medium cup.
Yeah, and it was 3 for the medium at the Blue Ice place. I think.
Whatever. It's got more flavors and they're more fun. I'll do it.
They're fun. I did like that place a lot.
Yeah. And then you walk off your gelato by the time you get back.
It's true. At least, you know, you tell yourself that.
Yeah. So for the now, we are all crashed. It is about 9 o'clock,
I'm so
9:15
tired.
probably now.
Need to do laundry.
We need to do laundry and go to bed. Alex is already snuggling up to us. Scary.
I need to shower.
Alex, Kate